The summer of 2013, I traveled to Europe with my parents. One of the stops on that trip was Germany. Just being around the German culture was interesting to observe, which is why I'm going to talk about the German culture. In Germany, the drinking age is 16. When I was there, my parents and I visited some of my dad's business friends who tried to get me to have a beer, but my parents weren't having it since I was 18 and not 21. The streets are narrow and cobblestones, and they are lined with pubs. Pubs next to pubs next to pubs. The capacity of the pubs do not matter to the German people. When the pubs seem to reach the capacity of the space, the crowd pours out onto the street. The way the waiters keep tab of those with drinks is to tally the number of drinks on the coasters. Then, when the customers decide that they have had enough, the waiter counts all the tallies and gives them a cash amount. In the city of Cologne, there is the Cologne Cathedral, which is an active church that was standing during World War II. There were bombs dropped on and near the church, but the cathedral did not take on a whole lot of substantial damage. There was damage done from years before, and there are constant repairs, but that cathedral is still standing. The cathedral is breathtaking. It has an ashy, dark, Gothic look to it because of its age and the events that have occurred, and it is designed to be a cross. It was like I time traveled back a couple hundred years to the medieval times. In Germany, there is a tradition for bachelor and bachelorette parties. These parties do not happen at night in a bar. They happen in the streets of the city. What happens in a bachelor or bachelorette party is all members of the group are matching clothing. They march around singing, yelling to grab attention of bystanders. And once that attention is grabbed, then they are either selling something or playing a game with the bystander. The idea is to collect money for drinks later that night or for wedding expenses, whatever the bride and groom choose. The bachelorette party actually came up to my dad, and he, of course, had to participate. What happened in my experience is the bride's group came up to my dad, asked if he would like to purchase a travel-sized bottle of alcohol to benefit to the bar tab for the after party that night. Once my dad contributed to the bride, they took his picture with the bride giving him a kiss on the cheek. Every culture is different from an individual's own culture, obviously, but it's also an experience to remember when you're right in the middle of a culture that is not your own. For me, that culture was the German culture. Compared to what is the norm for me, 16 is the drinking age for Germany. Also, the bachelor and bachelorette party does not happen in the clubs. Well, it might later that night. But it occurs in the streets, interacting with bystanders, raising money for the party or the wedding. And not to forget about the rich history of a town can have, especially in Cologne, Germany, where the Cologne Cathedral, which has been through World War II, stands.